Okay guys, welcome to my Darkling Beetle breeding colony and mealworm update. So as you can see, the Darkling Beetles are now taking up 2 tubs instead of 3. So basically, since our last update, the mealworms had grown quite a bit and all 3 tubs were filled with beetles and mealworms. So basically what I did is I tipped all of the oat stuff into one tub and removed all the Darkling Beetles and gave them fresh oats and moved them to 2 tubs. Now as you can see, they've still got their bits of cardboard, they've got some fruit in there that's probably going off soon, so I will be changing that. They're getting grapes today. And nowadays I don't tend to put them on a plastic tub like I did before. I think that's more when I use the cricket feed, because that would just mush up with the oats, but it's not too bad with the actual fruit. And as you can see here, this one has kind of gone really off, so that needs to go. I don't tend to worry too much because I think they can still eat the stuff, and sometimes it's even more beneficial, but don't quote me on that one. But apple tends to go off really quickly, so it's a bit of a pain. So as you may be able to see, we already can see quite a few mealworms. Now I have to say, in all honesty, since filming I've probably fed 80 to 100 mealworms to my geckos. That's a lot. They get about 10 each. And so what you're going to see here today, you have to plus like 100 because there has been a lot. I'm going to get my macro lens out so we can check to see whether there's some in here, and then we can have a closer look at these ones. I find that you tend to find more of the tiny mealworms around the food, so I'm just going to move this. There, oh, did you see that one? There's a mealworm. Got a load of like mealworm grain on me. So we have even more mealworms, and these Darkling Beetles probably been in this tub maybe a month, maybe a little longer. So that is excellent. So I don't know when I'll move out those mealworms. Until I see quite a few, that's when I'll end up moving them. I have seen this move a lot more lately, so I think there's quite a few large mealworms in here. Yeah, look at that. Oh god, it's gone. So we can see quite a few. So they are doing well. Obviously they're just in this stage, in this box, all they're doing is growing. They're not obviously reproducing or anything, so we got the same numbers as we started with, but they're getting bigger. I don't know how well you can see this. I'll just put a grape in to show you their first reactions. It tends to get swallowed up in the oats pretty quick, and I prick a few little holes in and around it so it's easier for the mealworms to get to. I have to say that mealworms are probably one of the easiest feed insects that I've kept and bred. Obviously there's things like with the crickets, you have to worry about their eggs drying out, so you have to keep things damp and then not too damp because then the eggs will die. And then I've heard dubia roaches are really easy, but for me I wasn't really having as much luck and I didn't have as much room. It just didn't go well. Whereas the mealworms, this is probably the best I've done. I did breed waxworms once, but they hatch out so small and they can climb up the walls even if you give them like a glass jar to live in, and they just escaped. Fortunately they were actually outside in the garage, so they didn't escape into our house. But yeah, besides that, that's my update on the mealworms. Also, before I go, I want to give a shout out to Levi White and Born to Beck. I believe that's your name. You have Denali and Pisces. Yeah, shout out to you guys. And anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and goodbye.